Alright, so boom. We're doing this. This is just gonna be a pilot for my podcast. And the way I'm gonna be doing it, I'm not gonna be doing the typical format for a podcast where you kind of sit in a room or sit in an office or whatever studio setting with people and have a conversation. No, I want to do something different. I want to be in different locations, going outside, and experiencing life while I'm talking about life, because that's kind of the premise behind my podcast. I have it in my notes, basically. My format, my structure for everything. Um, it's going to be something fairly simple, things that I'm fairly familiar with in terms of topic of conversation, but it's going to be more so like a self-help diary of sorts for other people, if that makes sense. Speaking on my experiences in life and kind of what I've learned from them and what I've grown from and what I've just come to learn on the other side through my experiences in life. Oh, excuse me. And as often in life that people have a misunderstanding of who you are based on their perception from the internet, and that gives a very vague inclination of who someone is. And so I know a lot of people just see me on the internet, I take pictures, I do art, I smoke weed. I'm like some hippie artsy nigga or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the perception of me is for the masses. I know what it is for like my close relatives and my friends and whatnot, but in terms of the masses that just like follow me on Instagram, I don't really know what they view me as. And this is to give not only advice to someone who may need it, but to give insight to why I am who I am because of what I've endured and learned. So it's gonna be we're gonna do a 12-part series for this first season. We got episode 1 that's gonna be called The Everyday Struggle, and we're gonna be kind of going over the wake up and pushing through everyday trials of life. So like just waking up every day, going to work and dealing with people throughout the day, and how I've kind of traversed through that with so many different jobs throughout my life. The uphill battle, so that's going to be episode 2, which is growing up in a technology era and the problems that it presents. I talk about this all the time when it comes to just how how submissive and how reliant we have become on technology. Granted, yes, I'm using it, but I'm using it as a tool. People use it as so much more in regards to everyday life, and it's really a problem because it has led society to a place where everybody feels like their opinion is a bit more important than it really is, and that really gets on my nerves a lot of the time. But episode 3, knowledge, the power and danger of knowing too much. I've always had a thirst for knowledge, like since I was a kid, and due to that, I always wanted to know the why. I always wanted to know more. I wanted to know the finer details of what made whatever it is what it was. Be it that God, be it that other religions, be it that other food science, whatever the case may be. I needed to know the minutia behind everything, and that comes with a lot because ignorance truly is bliss, and you have a certain serenity when you don't know so much, but it's also a certain peace when you do know a lot because you know what to be prepared for and what to be aware of. But it can be very tiresome, I must say. Episode 4, temptation. Oh man, this is gonna probably be the hardest one, just because I'm a man. You know, we go through temptation on a regular basis. Be it that someone we love, be it that bad habits, be it whatever the case may be, we're always tempted by something. And the enemy has a way of putting things that we desire kind of in our path to slow us down. And I definitely feel like this is going to be good for helping people understand how to stay focused throughout just the everyday battle of life. Episode 5, empathy. Ooh, man, that one. So, learning how to hone in on the energy from your core is what I put here, and understanding other people through their energy. Now, since I was a kid, I've always had like this very keen understanding or this keen feeling for energy from other people, and it's allowed me to read people very easily or understand people very easily. Hence the why like my friend circle is fairly big, and it's a balanced dynamic of male and female, and everybody know they can have kind of any kind of conversation with me. I'm very open minded. I'm always gonna give kind of more positive insight and keep keep things honest. And I think people appreciate that a lot. But what energy taught me was how to be more gentle with people. Growing up, I was an asshole to my little brother. I was basically a bully to him because he was a little chubby, and I saw what that kind of did to his mental as I got older, and I do regret that. But understanding other people while I was doing those things, it it gave me a certain adaptness to be able to handle almost any situation, and I feel like that's a tool that everybody should learn to use, just to be gentle with yourself, and to be gentle with other people, because everybody's human at the end of the day, and we all deserve a little grace regardless of what's going on. Number 6, love. That's definitely going to be the hardest episode. The pros or cons of being in love, but also understanding what love really means. I say this all the time. Society and the world we live in today, people have a one-dimensional understanding of just everything. They don't. They only look at things surface level. Like the average person, if I ask, "Hey, what is this?" They're gonna say a phone. If someone asks me what this is, I'm gonna say a pocket computer because it allows me to do everything I could do from my computer in my hand. It's a tool. It's a utensil. You know what I'm saying? I barely even talk on phones. Like, I barely use my phone. And it's just recently that I started using it more for stuff like this so I can use it as a proper tool. And the problem with society today, they lean too much in this. But I was talking about episode 6 and surface level understanding or surface level view of things, and people have a very misunderstanding of love due to society and due to social media and just reality TV in these movies. Like, people have been misled their whole lives, and the biggest problem that we see due to this is a lot of unstructured households. There's a lot of families built off no foundation, and due to that they crumble fairly quickly, and that starts from the root, the very beginning. So if two people come from unstructured foundations and they haven't figured themselves out, and then they bring a life into the world, they're not giving that life a solid foundation to stand on. They're still giving it two fragmented platforms to stand on. It's going to be very hard for that child to then grow to be who they truly could be without that. And as somebody who comes from, I would say, a village, you know what I'm saying? I was really raised by a village, and that village showered all of us with love in different degrees. I understand what that looks like in every regard, whether that's sacrifice, whether that's discipline, whether that's giving your all, like whether that's letting go of people, whether that's being loyal. I've seen every facet of love in regards to the human experience in my life, and I've also experienced love in a lot of different ways from a few different people. So yeah, that's gonna be one to go down. Episode 7, pain. Oh man, pain without love. Pain can't get enough. Pain, I don't like it rough. But anyway, pain, yes. The understanding of loss and being hurt, but growing from that. It's easier said than done to traverse through pain, trauma, and your fears to grow to be a better version of yourself. But it's important that we go through that pain in order to understand how to better prepare ourselves and protect ourselves. Um, I don't think if I had lost my dad when I did, I'd be as structurally sound as I am today. I feel like I'd still be handicapped to a certain degree mentally just because of what my father provided in regards to him being a solid foundation. Like I didn't have to worry, I didn't have to wonder. Like woke up, breakfast was ready, like all the way up until I was an adult. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my dad was really he gave it his all before he left us, and I applaud him for that. And I had to learn to use that as fuel versus something that broke me down because I understood that no matter what I was going through in life, he would not want me to ever be down. And one thing he always told me when I was younger was stop saying you don't care about everything because one day you're going to lose something you care about. And the words they hit me till I lost him, till I broke up with my first ex, till I lost my first dog, like my first dog ran away. I didn't understand how truly significant loss would ever affect me. And after those things happened, I started caring about so much and loving so much and just trying to be there for everyone that I could. And that takes its toll, but I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do despite, my pain. I'm still supposed to be an anchor for other people. And again, that can get draining, but I don't know. I feel like that's just what I'm supposed to do. Episode 8, focus. How to lock in, become fueled by your goals despite outward views. Oh, it is so important that when it comes to the things that we're passionate about, we don't worry about how the outside view what we're doing. Because if we allow every opinion that's thrown towards our ideas to either afflict us, it's going to cause negative manifestations in regards to what it is we're trying to do. And everyone's not sound of mind to take constructive criticism. So focusing is a task in this ADHD era and this goldfish society that we live in, where people can't maintain their attention on anything seriously. It's sad, but it's something that people need to understand. I found my focus when I understood my purpose. I kept hearing like God basically tell me, hey, go back to the thing you first fell in love with. And I did that. And when I did that, I started seeing a lot of changes just in my mind, just in my life, just in things that bothered me. Like just it gave me a certain clarity and peace of mind. And since I've been doing that, it's just been doors opening and consistent opportunities coming up. And it's a blessing to be able to say that. As an artist, as a photographer, to constantly be booked, to now have people paying me for art commissions, to have done a mural, to be a piece of art in a gallery, like, you know what I'm saying? Focus got me to that. I was focused at the dispensary, drawing and helping patients, and the lady said, hey, you have a very beautiful personality, you're a very beautiful person. Would you mind if I took a picture of you to paint you? Why would I complain about that? Thank you. And she did. That was an honor, you know what I'm saying? And if I was not focused and lollygagging and not taking my job seriously, she wouldn't have met me in that light to have that exchange to then put my face on a canvas to go around the world. So it's like, that's an honor. And for it to come back home to my home city and win Best in Show, a city that's historically racist, a black face, and a white art museum, Best in Show, painted by a white woman, it's an honor. You know what I'm saying? So it's just when you understand your passion, it's a lot easier to hone in and focus, but you have to go through different trials to get to that point. So don't rush that process. Um, and we're almost done. Episode 9, the reboot. Oh, so I'm actually currently in the reboot phase. I say time skip error. Take time to yourself to understand yourself better via pain, love, passion, and the experiences you've gone through up until now. So I do a recap probably about once a month with myself where I give thanks for making it out on the other side of so many things that could have took me out of here or put me in a position where I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. And it's important for everyone to take time to truly master themselves and understand themselves, how you love, how you want to receive love, what triggers you, what hurts you, what are you truly passionate about, and truly go down and understand the experiences in life that you've been down, because a lot of times life happens so fast. You have a jaded or misconstrued perception of something that may have took place, and it's good to be able to sit back and kind of relook at it with a full scope to better understand what maybe had taken place. You know what I'm saying? And again, people think so one-dimensionally that they don't even understand how to do that. So that's part of the reason why I'm even doing this whole podcast. Boom, episode 10, the cleanup. Understanding the importance of falling back from everything to clean your palate. What that means is basically just, yeah, I'm using it. So episode 10, the importance of falling back from everything to clean your palate. So basically what that means is stop everything, go to yourself, like revert, go, just stick to you, be selfish, be in a season of where you strictly focus on yourself to better understand yourself. The cleanup and the reboot go hand in hand, because you have to clean your palate in order to make space for new things. If you don't clean your palate, you're just gonna have a full plate, and if your plate's full, you got no room for new opportunities, new experiences, and that's gonna lead to a very detrimental view of society, or a detrimental view of your reality. I definitely feel like everybody should have a reboot / cleanup every 6 months to even a year, because again, a lot of things happen throughout life, and when you're moving too fast, and that can cause a misperception of things that may have taken place. Episode 11, Master of Me, the state of understanding who I am. So 9, 10, and 11 all tie in together. And again, it's basically mastering myself, understanding everything about me to the utmost degree, and I'm still working on that. Like that's gonna be an endless process for anybody, because nobody's perfect, and there's always room for improvement. There's always room to grow. So that's the never-ending journey to master oneself, but to have a certain adeptness and understanding of oneself, to have a certain clarity for self, is very important. And that's what I'm going to use that episode to kind of help people out with. And the last episode, 12, is just titled King. Understand the fundamental importance of being a leader. So, the reason why I want to do that for the last episode, something I came to a realization on as I got older, was how people always seem drawn to me, and people always came to me for certain advice, or to have certain conversations. What? And people always came to me to have certain kind of conversations, and it made me realize, like, whether I wanted to be or not, I was a leader. Like, I was a teacher. Fundamentally, that's always been my role in life for so many people around me. I teach them about themselves. I teach them how to care more about themselves, how to understand more about themselves, how to stand up more for themselves. And it's it's been a really draining, experience in life to have done that for so long and not be aware that that's what you were doing until you got burnt out. But I'm grateful to have been able to be someone that so many people can use as a balancing act to help them kind of grow and get to the next point. Um, I'm grateful for everybody that I've ever been able to assist in any way in regards to helping them understand themselves better, helping them understand maybe why they should do something a certain way, or maybe just protecting their own peace. And even as a kid, like most of my friends, like especially women, most of my female friends, like we all became kind of close because they had certain traumas that they had been through, and I was more mature minded than a lot of people my age. So, and because of empathy, me being a strong empath, I could feel energy. I could feel that these people had a certain pain that they had experienced and they needed to express that. Um, and that's really how I got close with a lot of people. And honestly, I didn't realize it until like really just now how many people I trauma bonded with in regards to not even having trauma myself, but being adapt to energy so well that I could put myself into their position to understand the severity of the trauma they may have had experienced, and best assist them and guide them or give them advice or have a conversation with them to help them get it off their chest. And ultimately, I'm grateful for that. You know, uh, and then we got I put 3 extra episodes maybe. We got one that's titled Ego Death, Defeating Self, and The Mustard Seed. I want to do all 3 of those episodes with special guests, so I'll probably do Ego Death with my little brother because I feel like we're at a very close level in our spiritual journeys. We still got a ways to go, but I feel like we're very close in terms of just understanding the danger of ego, the danger of pride, and people truly don't understand the danger of the 7 deadly sins and how they afflict us on a regular basis. But if you can master those, you can master yourself, and nothing can stop you at that point. Defeating self. I don't know who I would do that one with. I'll probably highlight my homie James just because he's a bit older than a lot of my friends and he has a bit more experience in life, and I definitely feel like he's somebody who's been through hella trials and came out on a more positive side. On top of that, he's a teacher, so it'd be a dope thing for his students to see, give them a certain perspective. And then Mustard Seed, trying to think. I don't know who I do that one with just yet, but basically that episode is just about understanding how to give in, let go, and have faith in what God is showing you and telling you and trying to lay out for you. So often in life as humans, we feel like, oh, we know what we should be doing, but I promise you, we're blind, we're lost. And if we just slow down and listen, like really listen to his voice tapping in with us to guide us, everybody would be so much more at peace. It'd be so much more love in the world. It'd be so much more understanding in the love. But we're at a place where we don't even have a level of morality in society anymore. It's just pure chaos at this point. But when you understand the love of God, it's a lot easier to have faith that everything's going to be okay and work out, because you understand the things that he has done and He can do, and the things He's brought you through. And due to that majesty, it's a freeing feeling to understand what's coming next for yourself. And with that said, it's kind of what led me to starting this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Nami, chill out. I'm recording. My dog want to talk, but yeah. But that's it. This is the pilot episode, episode 0. I'm gonna record episode 1 when my wireless mics come in, so that way I can maneuver the way I want to and really be as like free flowing as I want to. You know what I'm saying? Set the camera down and walk around, go on a walk with the dogs, whatever the case may be. But we got 12 episodes coming to follow before this year is over with, so stay tuned for that. And if you feel like this is something you or someone you know will be interested in, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. I'm going to try to get at least, how many more months do we have? We're going into September, so October, November, December. So we got 3 months. 3 months. Pump out 12 episodes. So I do 3 episodes a month. That'll do it, but I gotta figure out scheduling wise, because I want each episode to be at least 25 minutes long on a minimum. So we'll see. But yeah, peace, love, positivity, and I wish everybody nothing but growth and love and understanding in this chaotic world we live in. We all deserve that. So yeah. Oh, stop recording.